Oh shoot, I knew I forgot something. Hold on. All right. Okay. All right. Oh, heavens. Alright, hello everyone. My name is Paolo Chasa, and welcome to the weekly Manga Drawing Lessons Weekly. So I don't know why it's like moved around on the on the website, but that's what it's called. That's what I'm calling it, and it's my program. Anyway. So, this program is brought to you by the Enoch Pratt Free Library and is currently being streamed from the Govins branch in Baltimore, Maryland. As the program goes, learn how to draw anime manga characters step by step in weekly sessions. Build up a binder of your best drawings and become a real artist. Supplies for the program will be available at the Govins branch on a first come first served basis while supplies last. Essentially, it includes like a binder, some really good paper, and what's it called? Good pencils, good erasers, and like the non-photocopy blue pencils that we got in like a couple of weeks back that I'm really excited to give out to any folks who are interested in the program and would like to continue learning with these tools in mind. That said, majority of the things we are learning tend to focus more on like not necessarily materials but more technique. I should do a materials episode sometime in the future, actually, now that I think about it. Just to show off what we have. I'll have to set that up properly though, because then I would need like a camera looking down on the drawing surface on the various things, and actually like have something else here. It'd be fun. It'd be nice. But otherwise, that's a future problem. Anyway, so like before, we'll be streaming this for about an hour or so. And all of these, the channel should be available. Channel should be available under like tinyurl.com/manga drawing lessons weekly or manga drawing lessons weekly channel, and then the drive, which is available here. Has all the weekly lessons that we've had, or rather, we're going to go through. Right now, we're still currently in lesson 8 because it's very dense in terms of all the things we can learn about it. In fact, we're essentially starting off from something that we started. Oh, there it is. Something we've started on before. Started last time, specifically like poses and stuff. Anyway, so just a little background on all of these lessons. Initially, we started with Mastering Manga by Mark Riley. Right now, we're currently using this book, A Complete Guide to Drawing Action Manga, a step-by-step Artist Handbook by Mashoko and Makoto Sawa. Highly recommend it. Only because as I look through it a little bit more, it's less of a technique, like literal step-by-step thing, and more of like a pose book and suggestions on what to draw, suggestions on how to draw things specifically. It's pretty neat. It's still pretty good. But I feel like it's not the best place to start. If you're like absolute beginner, never held a pencil, well, if you've never held a pencil before, different lessons need to apply. But like, if you've like grasped a little bit of drawing manga, this would be like a really good next step. I highly recommend it. It's available at the Enoch Pratt Free Library and other libraries within the states, and I think there should be at least 3 copies. Certainly, like this one I'm currently using is the one I currently have, so can't have this one because I'm still using it. Sorry. Anyway, let's see. Slurp stream. Let's go ahead and transition into what we were doing last week. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's go back here because what we did before was like basically going through basic movements and like different poses. I think we started with dashing and sprinting before, and we looked through like these various versions of that. And I think we had, which one did we use? I think we used this one. Yeah, we used this one. I think we used this one. Did we use this one? No. I think we used... Yeah, no, we used this one, the part 3 one. We used this one as like a base model for... no, not a base model, a reference for how we were drawing... hold on. Nope, not this one. How we were drawing Tracer. Tracer from Overwatch. Going back. No, I don't need this. Thank you. Essentially, using this with chasing for intent, chasing at top speeds. Now, all of these are more, less like, are less like tutorials and more just like poses. Poses that you can reference and add into whatever thing you're doing. Like for example, if you're drawing a chase scene through a couple of pages of manga, or if you just want to draw a character running in action as opposed to just the usual like standing at 3/4 looking to the right. There's always a time and place for that sort of character pose, especially when you're using that as a reference for like, oh, this is how their clothes look, like in video games and all that. But like, it's always good to add movement because it kind of adds more life to the character. It's really great in that sense. Anyway, as we're going through the book and specifically like the other poses, like it's like they're going through the different ways of like categorizing, dashing, sprinting, stumbling, glancing behind. Like this is a particularly good one because it's not always that you draw your characters from behind, and this already like has this great emotion or expression for it. Kind of expression in the scene, if that makes sense. Lots of good ones for jumping, especially with the like the usual jumping. That's called jumping with the skirt type thing. You've seen that in a lot of anime. Oh man, the momentum jumping. Now, if you so this is really important actually. It's just a quick look into like how the force of movement in midair, because that's how you. Like when you think about it, that's how jumping works. I love this little one. It's just like, oh, you're being tossed in the air. That's cute. This one's a lot of good. These poses are great for like sports anime, especially anything with soccer or volleyball. Fans of Haikyuu, I'm looking directly at you. I am in your house speaking to you. catching, um, catching for baseball. This is a great pose. Even though it kind of obscures the face a bit, it's just a lot is going on here. Let's see. Falling, view from below, jumping, landing. Oh yeah, the 3-point landing. Now, in the next like full drawing that we're gonna do, because we're gonna try to do something specific in the next few weeks, because I really want to be able to like finish something. I love this. The 3-point landing is very like superheroes, Avengers type stuff. Oh, that's good. Ooh. So this entire thing like literally creates like this basically animation if you put it in like four different flipbook pages, and that's a lot. It's just going through like a whole lot of the how you would think about movement with regards to like acrobatics and somersaults. I've actually seen like a different pose book in Japanese that like each picture is just the different actual person doing a somersault in different angles, like from the front, from the side to like 3/4. It is fantastic. And this is basically this, but like more of like, oh, this is how you draw it, that sort of thing. Spinning, pivot. Okay, so this is where we're going to be. Essentially, this is, I think, the closest you can get in terms of like, oh, this is how to do illustrations and stuff in this book so far. You would need to... Sorry, I'm adjusting so I can get the mic correctly. Better? Yes. It's kind of confusing because it's single page, but it's actually 1, 2, and then 3 on the next page. So essentially, we're going through this step by step. Like there's a rough sketch, there's a draft of showing a little bit more detail on. Okay, so number 1, this is definitely not a rough sketch. This is kind of like a finished sketch, but specifically of like a model. It's not like, this basically is what this should look like with all of the what's called all the lines and stuff. They're correct in showing the direction of force because they're jumping up, and they're kind of at the peak where the clothes, you know, when if you have a big shirt on and you're like jump up and down, the shirt kind of goes foof up like that. It's basically showing how doing that in midair. And then number 3 is the line drawing, where you basically make all the corrections to make sure you have your final lines. This is basically the inking part of it. Now we're not quite there yet. We're actually in between these steps 1 and 2, and we'll be doing this hopefully a little bit later as we correct things a little more and more. Then you do color, and then add shadow, and then add its effects and highlighting to make it actually look cool. The way we're going to do it is we're going to finish the drawing of Tracer, which is kind of cheating because technically, if you look at her, we already have like a finished drawing of her. We already have like a finished drawing, but, well, not finished per se, but like a finished version of oops, ooh, bumped my mic, I do apologize. Just like a finished, like fully colored, fully sketched version of the said character. We're definitely gonna do some more tweaks though, because I feel like that's a little rushed. This is a little rushed, but I'm gonna try to go through it point by point to complete the illustration. The first thing I'm going to do actually is kind of pull it from this sketching. So this is actually the sketching sketch practice sheet into its own image file and its own Clip Studio Paint file or .csp. And what I'm going to do that is, or rather how I'm going to do that is, what am I going to do? Oh, okay, hold on. So this is its own, that's its own layer. This is its own layer. And this is its own layer, which means what I'm going to have to do is turn off these layers. And we are going to select this layer, or rather, we're going to select this bit and put it as its own layer. Like, cut and paste, copy and paste. Boom. Now we can delete this. Sorry. Now we can delete this, and this is just on its own, which means this and this are the three layers we'd want to copy, or rather take for our own. I'm gonna deselect that. These are the three layers that we want, and we're gonna put it into its own new file. How big do I want this to be? Let's see. Now we're gonna create new. You're not gonna see this because I'm actually just in the it's recording the screen. Sorry, not recording the screen, but it's recording the what's called the program, but not all the little what's it called? Dialog boxes. There it is. We're gonna make this into a custom illustration. Custom illustration preset. No, actually, I kind of want it to be big. There we go. There we go. Paper color the same. That's fine. Okay, and now that we have a completely different illustration, as you notice it. Oh shoot, I messed it up. Hold on. So, I wonder if anyone caught the resolution issue. It was actually at 72 dpi, and I don't want that. I want it to at least be 300 and 350 dpi, so we have, well, more dots per inch to play with. If you want like an extreme amount of detail, I recommend putting at 600 dpi, but if you're listening to this at this stage, it's probably like overkill at this point. All right. Just checking the stream. You're good. Why is C Cleaner up? I don't need this. Thanks. Appreciate C Cleaner, but you're not needed right now. Okay. Okay. Okay, and we're gonna select these three layers. Control C for copy. Go into this illustration. Control V for paste, and there they are. Let's see. Oop. I did not want to do that. Now you're going to keep that over here. We're going to put these together. We might have to group them together, but we're going to go ahead and what's it called? Make these things a little bigger. We want Tracer to be the real focus of the thing here. And hit OK. So it's good. We're now at like you basically made as big as this illustration needs to be. We're still at the drafting stage, and I think, as I've said before, this is the time and place to make any like really big edits or to use your liquify tool to make things a little different. In fact, ¿dónde está el liquify tool? Blend. Ah, there it is. on. I think I can make this bigger. Oh no. Oh. All right. Gonna lie, this definitely feels like cheating. It genuinely does, unfortunately. In fact, we're gonna have to do this bit again because... Do we have to do this bit? Yeah, I think we have to do this rough draft again because I really don't like the, A, I don't like the color, and B, I don't like the weird detail. And now that we have more room to play, yeah, that's step one. Step two. Alright, so, what we did there, just a little bit, was to use the liquify tool. A very recent addition to the Clip Studio Paint program to kind of just mold like this layer, this rough draft of ours into the right shape we kind of want. I didn't do like this part I didn't do this part justice in terms of like the real, what's called? The real... Ora? Whoa, what happened? Nope. Okay. Oh, I'm an idiot. I was wondering why this wasn't working on this layer. I was like, there's nothing on it. That's the new draft layer that we're gonna put on, which is again my bad. Anyway, so I'm gonna revert back to the train of thought that was said before. So what I did was use the liquify tool to kind of mold like the already pre-existing drawing into a better shape that I feel accentuates, or rather not accentuates, but kind of fits the mold a little more, fits like the drawing draft a little bit more. I don't want to call it cheating, but it kind of feels like it because it's such a useful tool. More to the point, we do need to make a few adjustments now that we've molded like this. For example, the shoulders still look a little weird. We need to clarify the lines here to make sure we know what's actually there. And we're going to do that in the next layer. But first, we're going to take this layer and we're going to dip down the opacity so that we can work a little better on this layer. Not that much. There we go. So we can work in this layer for it to be a little better. Okay. We're going to be moving this picture of Tracer around a lot so that we can like really zoom in on the details of all the things that we want to look at. So bear with me. This is basically how this works in real time and not in the speed paints. This takes time because it's supposed to. That just genuinely does take time because it's supposed to. It's not any easier, or it's not any worse or better. It just takes time. That mechanical pencil's so thick. Why is it so thick? There we go. So I like to use a very solid, more solid line for like the second rough draft, which is like the traditional art equivalent of like taking a darker pencil or like taking a darker pencil and adding more details and like sketching out this lighter layer below it, taking a kneaded eraser and just rubbing it all around it to kind of basically do the same thing I did with the opacity, but in using traditional media. Traditional art. There's still going to be a lot of erasing going on, what's called, and like tweaking and stuff because it's still that stage. I don't think we're going to be in the coloring stage until 2-3 weeks from now, but that's how it goes. If you want to like a full illustration, this is how that goes, and this is my workflow for now. If I had to do like more of these much more quickly, I would skip directly to inking and do something else entirely in terms of like the pose. In fact, like I wouldn't even use this pose. I would straight up take out the 3D model, pose it as I see fit, angle it as I see fit, draw over it with ink in order to, because I know exactly where everything would go, and then just like add details and render it. And to render something, at least in the illustration artist world, basically means to add like the more details on it. You've finished a sketch, and now you've made a draft of it, and now it's time to render it so that it's like a full illustration. Hopefully that's working. Hopefully that's what we're going to get to do in a little bit, or as we continue. But it's going to take a while. In fact, this is probably the thing that I'll be doing for the next half hour. So if things go radio silent, it's not because I stopped talking, or rather, it's not because there's nothing going on. Rather, it's because I'm concentrating. It's not impossible to do this and talk at the same time, but it is very difficult. I wonder how much this poor woman spends on hair gel. or if it's really just how that hair looks. Because, good golly jeepers, that must be a lot. I can certainly do that better. But we'll fix that later. I don't want to block in the other parts of this illustration first. I just realized I've been on mute for the past. Oh no, I've been on mute for the past 20 minutes. That's on me. Well, to be fair, you didn't really miss much. I did just say that I was looking up if I'm like just looking at this and looking at this instead of and nothing is moving on here because I'm using reference, or rather like giving my eyes a little bit of a rest. Ugh, good golly, my arm hurts. Anyway. 5 or so minutes left. Just realized Tracer has more straps on her than a Kingdom Hearts character. Good golly. Her girl is cinched up like a... Gosh. This must feel like a sports bra all the time. Oof. I do not... What's it called? I do not envy the poor girl. Oh, it's 4:30 already. Gosh. gonna have to call it a day for this one. Only because it's probably for the best. Boy is tired. Oh, I can't use that here. Anyway, thank you for viewing this archive of the stream. Sorry for the mild technical difficulties there. That's on me. I completely forgot that I was not being recorded. Now hopefully the audio is a little better. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and call that a day, and hopefully continue with the hopefully continue with the tracer picture the next time. I'm genuinely tempted to kind of fix it into the next stage after that, so we can do coloring, which is a little easier on this thing than it is well, a little easier on this thing than like the heavy construction, because I have the graphics tablet at home, which means I'm drawing directly on the screen as opposed to drawing on this and looking at a screen, and that disconnect kind of messes with my head a little bit. Anyway, thanks for following the stream, and we'll be here again on next Tuesday at 3:30 p.m. Make sure you catch us. I'm getting weird Russian stuff again. Make sure you catch us next time. All right? Thank you, and have a wonderful day.